What he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money.
Floyd Mayweather dominated Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed problem child of boxing, after Jake dodged a fight with Andrew Tate like an unpaid bill. This is the same Jake Paul who loudly claims he'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, apparently excluding opponents who could knock his ego him to the canvas. Mayweather's performance exposed Jake, proving once again that hype can't replace skill in the ring.
He's doing is, I mean, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money and and they match him the way they match him. I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power to him.
Then there's Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated king of boxing, watching from the sidelines like a disappointed parent. Floyd didn't just call Jake Paul out, he tore him to shreds, labeling him a cherry picker who only steps into the ring against opponents he's sure he can beat. Let's be honest, Floyd's not wrong. Jake's fights aren't about proving himself as a real boxer, they are about curating flashy highlight reels for YouTube like he's done once again
Floyd,
here.
I will fight you. And you know that's one of the biggest fights to make in boxing. I'll weigh 175, you weigh 165, we can get that done. Make a couple $100 million, but what will your excuse be?
Mayweather has been critical of Jake Paul's approach to boxing, seeing him as emblematic of everything wrong with the sport today: style over substance, hype over heart. The infamous gotcha hat incident where Jake snatched Floyd's cap during a press event further fueled Floyd's disdain. To him, the stunt wasn't just disrespectful, it reinforced his belief that Jake is more entertainer than true competitor.
What happened? You're not tough anymore since your loss? What happened since your loss? Yo, we gonna bust him up, guys?
I told you before, put that
Yo, let's bust him up.
Jake's decision to reject the Top 8 fight feels like a missed opportunity for the kind of spectacle both men excel at. A clash of egos, a circus fit for primetime TV. However, Jake seemingly didn't like the odds, and Floyd wasted no time calling him out, accusing him of ducking real challenges to safeguard his record and avoid risking his image.
Where you going, Jake? Oh, he's running! He's running! Look at him! Jake Paul running, champ!
The criticism doesn't end there. Floyd also called out Jake's habit of cherry-picking opponents, facing those with no boxing experience or fighters well past their prime like Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren, neither of whom posed a real threat. When Jake finally fought a legitimate boxer, Tommy Fury, he lost. It's no surprise Jake is hesitant to face Andrew Tate, who brings actual combat credentials to the table. Floyd's remarks ignited social media with memes, tweets, and TikToks roasting Jake for dodging Tate and getting called out by Mayweather. Fans pointed out the glaring issue. Jake's persona is built on bravado, but his actions rarely back it up. If he won't fight Tate, how can anyone take his boxing career seriously?
There's also rumours that there was rules embedded within the contract that prevented Mike Tyson from throwing certain shots.
Floyd also questioned the legitimacy of Jake's fights, accusing them of being fixed and more about entertainment than genuine sport. He's far from alone in this sentiment. Critics have long alleged that Jake scripts outcomes and avoids real competition. Although Jake has repeatedly denied these claims, his refusal to fight Andrew Tate does little to counter the narrative. At its core, boxing is about proving yourself against the best, demonstrating grit, determination, and the courage to face any challenger. Jake, however, seems content to stick with safe bets, choosing opponents he's confident he can beat. Mayweather's disdain for Jake goes beyond just their personal rivalry. Floyd sees Jake as someone who disrespects the sport, reducing it to a spectacle for clicks and cash. Love him or hate him, Floyd built his career on fighting top-tier opponents and maintaining an undefeated record. Jake, in contrast, appears more focused on preserving his influencer status than earning boxing credibility.
Because he's 58. Check out this, what he says next.
Until this clinch. People are saying in this clinch, Jake asked Mike to calm down.
During a clinch, some claim Jake asked Mike to calm down, a moment that epitomizes his reluctance to engage in true challenges. Rejecting Andrew Tate wasn't just a strategic decision, it was a blatant admission of Jake's limitations. Tate's brash personality and proven combat skills made him a formidable threat, one Jake wasn't willing to face. By dodging the fight, Jake has only fueled doubts from Mayweather and the boxing community. Floyd's harsh critique resonates. Jake is in a prime position to elevate his career by taking on real challenges, yet he consistently chooses the easy road. While his fans may defend it as smart business, the boxing world sees it for what it truly is: cowardice.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. Like there was a point where, I was just like, okay, he's not really engaging back. And so I don't know if he's tired or whatever. And I could just tell, his age was showing a little bit.
The question now is whether Jake will ever step up. He's been called out by some of the biggest names in the sport, yet continues to sidestep real competition. Mayweather's comments should serve as a wake-up call, but knowing Jake are likely to just ignite another round of social media antics. As Floyd pointed out, Jake's actions have consequences. By avoiding real fighters, he risks losing whatever credibility he has left. Boxing fans are growing tired of the spectacle. They want genuine fights, not carefully orchestrated charades. Until Jake steps up and delivers, he'll remain a controversial figure, not a respected one. Jake's rejection of the Andrew Tate fight and Mayweather's subsequent takedown have exposed the cracks in his boxing career. Despite his bravado, Jake has shown that he's unwilling to face real challenges. As Mayweather pointed out, Jake simply doesn't have the balls. The decision is now in Jake's court, but history indicates he'll likely drop it. Andrew Tate isn't just a loudmouth, he's a trained fighter with years of experience. Sure, he might be polarizing, but there's no denying his skills. Jake wasn't interested because, unlike retired MMA fighters or social media personalities, Tate would have posed a real threat. Jake's camp can spin it however they want, scheduling conflicts, business priorities, but the truth is clear: Jake doesn't want a fight he can't control.
Criticize your decision-making when most boxers, we don't follow their career at this point.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be in the position I am, to be highly criticized. That just means I'm doing something right. And no one has had a boxing career like mine. It'll be studied and judged, but I've risen to the top in 4 years because I've taken risks. I was the underdog all the way up until Nate Robinson, and that's something that people don't remember, don't give any credit to, but I put it on the line against some of the best in the sport.
Floyd Mayweather called Jake out for this exact reason, and he didn't hold back. Mayweather's comment about Jake avoiding fighters like Canelo Alvarez wasn't just an insult, it was a statement of fact. Fighters like Canelo are on a different level, one Jake knows he can't compete in. Rather than risk embarrassment, Jake sticks to opponents who either lack boxing experience or are well past their prime. Take a look at his fight history. Nate Robinson, a basketball player with no boxing credentials, was an easy win. Ben Askren, a retired MMA fighter with limited striking skills, was a predictable knockout. Tyron Woodley, another aging MMA star, saw Jake barely scrape by in their first fight. When Jake finally faced Tommy Fury, a legitimate boxer, he lost. This defeat revealed a harsh reality: Jake's skills aren't as impressive as his social media presence suggests.
This is proof the Paul brothers rigged their fights. In the first round of the Mike Tyson fight, Mike was getting to Jake and landing some shots until this clinch.
Well, first off, Mike Tyson only landed like 19 total punches the entire fight. And I think in the first round, he landed 2 or 3. So even when Mike was doing his best, he still wasn't doing too great. Why? Because he's 58.
Then there's the spectacle factor. Jake's fights are more about entertainment than sport. From flashy entrances to over-the-top trash talk, he knows how to sell tickets, but boxing purists see through the act. Floyd Mayweather, a man who's faced and defeated some of the greatest fighters in history, has every right to call Jake out. Floyd didn't build his career on gimmicks. He built it on skill, strategy, and discipline. But let's dive deeper into Floyd's critique. His comment that Jake doesn't have the balls to fight Canelo Alvarez is about more than just fear of losing. It's about Jake's unwillingness to grow as a fighter. True boxers take risks. They face opponents who push them to their limits, forcing them to adapt and improve. Jake, on the other hand, seems content to stagnate. This isn't just Floyd's opinion, it's a sentiment shared by many in the boxing world. Fighters who have spent years honing their craft resent Jake's meteoric rise because it feels unearned. While they grind in the gym, Jake racks up wins against subpar competition. Floyd's critique resonates because it taps into a broader frustration within the sport, proof that the Paul brothers have rigged their fights. In the first round of the Mike Tyson fight, Mike was landing some shots on Jake until this clinch. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson have sparked intrigue in the boxing world with the possibility of a showdown. Paul, a controversial figure who thrives on attention-grabbing antics, contrasts sharply with Tyson, a heavyweight icon who represents a completely different level of skill and legacy. Speculation about a fight between the two has gained momentum, with Paul seemingly unfazed by the idea of stepping into the ring with a legend. Meanwhile, Tyson, who has hinted at staying active in exhibitions, might view Paul as a challenge to test the new era of boxing. However, the fans present an interesting dynamic. Jake's supporters might justify his choice of opponents as smart business, but even they have to question how long this charade can last. At some point, Jake will need to face a real challenge or risk becoming a caricature of himself. Rejecting Andrew Tate wasn't just a tactical decision, it was a missed opportunity to prove his critics wrong, giving them more ammunition. Floyd Mayweather's critique resonates because of its truth. Jake can't hide behind social media stunts forever. The more he dodges real fights, the more his credibility erodes. While his fans might stick around for the spectacle, the boxing community will continue to view him as a joke.